That's footsteps.
Help!
I don't know what's going to be on the other side of that door.
Something's in here with me, it's locked, and I can't get out.
It wants us out.
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. Now and again you come across a property that's so haunted you just have to go back. So that's why I brought my team to South Wales, to a place that is filled with paranormal activity of every kind, from good to evil. Welcome back to Newton House. Although the facade of this overpowering property in all its Gothic splendour is Victorian, the main structure dates back to 1660 and Sir Edward Rice. The history of this great building is that of conflict and pain, as it has been fought over since time immemorial, and changed hands many times over the years as the owners won and lost favour with each prevailing monarch. The most famous ghost to inhabit Newton House is said to be that of the murdered Lady Cavendish, who it is said was strangled to death at the top of the building. Her murderer also haunts the long corridors, as he was supposedly hanged from the upper balconies, causing visitors and staff alike to feel the sensation of choking while in the house. Many have seen and heard the ghosts of children playing on the stairs. With such a diverse history, I had to bring Most Haunted back to Newton House, and this time with some special guests. There are 3 ghosts that are said to roam in this basement area. The ghost of a dog and a gentleman who seems very, very brusque indeed. And it's said that he's supposed to be chasing the ghost of a young boy. Why? Hopefully we'll find out this evening. This area was the hub of the whole building. Servants working tirelessly to make sure that their employers were incredibly happy with their service. Now all the hustle and bustle has gone from the living. All that remains is the hustle and bustle of the dead. Houses such as these were used to aid the war effort, and this room on the 2nd floor is dedicated to that time. But the relics seem to have a life of their own. The objects move with stark regularity, and on the landing, dark shadows are seen, heavy booted footsteps are heard, and doors are closed when no one is seen around. The stairs hold a horror all of their own. The ghost of a haggard old woman dressed in black clothes lurks in the corners. Many people feel they're being pushed by unseen hands, and spectral children seem to run up and down, laughing as they go. The top floor, without a doubt, is the scariest and most dangerous place to be, and many of the staff refuse to come into this area. It is said the Lady Cavendish was strangled to death here, where her ghost walks. She's chased by the very man who killed her, and the body of a servant is seen hanging by an unseen rope. Also witnessed in the dead of night, many people feel a tightening around their neck, and so serious are these experiences that the public are banned from entering this area. To get more of an insight into the goings-on of this place, we asked house manager Stephen Batsford what he and others have experienced.
If different people tend to feel things in different places. Some people have been in here, some people have been upstairs on the top floor in what was the former servants' quarters. Some people say there's activity in the tea room, in the billiard room. people sense things in various places around the house. I have is smelt cigarette smoke. Not ordinary cigarette smoke, it's a sort of a sweeter smell, a bit like foreign Turkish type cigarettes. And they're in various places around the house. You know, we've always been a non-smoking house. Other people tend to feel things rather than see things. Doors being closed, lights being switched on, things being moved, tables put on top of another table, papers being moved all over the place. A former colleague saw an elderly gentleman in +4s going down through the door in the corner of the room, and then a couple of weeks later they hung the portraits up in the hallway, which wasn't open to the public at the time, and the face of the elderly gentleman was the face of one of the portraits that they hung up.
With such a reputation for tragedy, this isolated place seemed to hold many a mystery, and I wondered what demonologist Fred Batt had to say about the location.
Well, tonight we're at a very interesting location. It's a very paranormal place, lots of activity. The house itself was built in the 1600s, but before that there were 2 Roman forts here, and then in between the Roman forts and the 1600s when the house was built, is a very grey area. A lot of people said there was a lot of pagan rituals going on here and in this area, lots of sacrifices. So that's what I'll be looking for tonight anyway, and we'll see what we find. The house is called Newton House, and it was named by the English, representing the name New Town, because it was a new thing being built. So that's where Newton House got its name from. The areas I'm looking forward to going to this evening, the staircase especially, is a pretty paranormal area. People have said when they're walking up the stairs they get this tightness as though there's a noose around their neck, and they get a feeling of really, really bad sickness. And then further up the staircase as you go up, people have seen this old haggard woman sitting in the corner crouching as though she's waiting to jump out on somebody. Another area which is of great paranormal interest to me is the 2nd floor. Now this place belongs to the National Trust, and they do have areas in most of their places where the public are not allowed. But this one in particular is for certain reasons. Lots and lots and lots of paranormal activity.
Before we start our investigation, I wanted to see what our special guests and long-time fans of Most Haunted, heavy metal bands Bullet for My Valentine, thought of the night ahead.
So I'm super excited about tonight's session. Excited but very, very nervous. I think probably the worst thing that I would be frightened of would be some kind of poltergeist activity, something being thrown or some kind of interaction with something like that. That would be scary, and if I'm honest, I am properly myself.
There's definitely a feeling of excitement between me and the boys, and we just really want something to happen, like paranormal. The scariest thing I could think of if I actually seen something, like an orb or something touched me, or something, if I could hear something in my ear, that would be... I can hear my voice is going out, so I'm quite scared. It's quite weird, but excited at the same time. I think I'm gonna myself.
If I was on my own, somewhere in the house, and things started moving and jumping around and, you know, moving, floating around on their own, then I would scare me big time. Hopefully something's gonna happen. Let's just wait and see.
Well, thinking about it before coming here, I thought to myself, the scariest thing that could possibly happen to me would to actually feel a presence or feel something touch me, because I don't know whether I believe in anything or not, you know. So to actually have like a whisper in my ear or like an actual something touch me will make me believe it. Like, so I'm hoping for some poltergeist activity. If I was on my own in a room and things started moving, I would think it was amazing.